Hey guys, happy Valentine's Day. I'm so excited for week 3 of this love series. Thanks so much for subscribing, for following me. And if you're new here, my name is Gabrielle and this is Gab and Glow. And this week we are going to be talking about a part of my story I've been wanting to share with you guys for a while. I am pregnant. I'm growing a healthy little baby inside of me. I'm 23 weeks and this has been a very hard secret to keep. But I had to go through a process, and over the last, 4 or 5 months, I've learned that the love that God has for me can redeem practically anything. Because even though this is not the way that I planned on transitioning into motherhood, this child is a child that I prayed hard for. Becoming a mom has been a dream of mine for probably about 10 years, and the last few years it has felt a little more hopeless if that was ever going to happen for me, because I have one ovary that does not ovulate, and because of PCOS. So yeah, God still works miracles even when we're doing not what we're supposed to be doing. So let me just rewind just a little bit. If you watched my farewell 2019, hello 2020 video, you would have heard me talk a little bit about how once I got back from my missions trips, I struggled a bit with just things that were going on in my life, and I was making some not so great decisions. But because of God, because of who God is, He, is in constant pursuit of me, even when I'm doubting Him and I don't want to go to Him when I'm trying to deal with, hurt and brokenness in the world, and not through Him where real healing comes from. So things were back on track. I felt like things were going great. A few weeks go by and I'm like, let me just take a pregnancy test just to be sure. I doubt it because, like I said, I have PCOS, and I'm also on birth control because my period doesn't come on its own. So I take a test and it is a big fat positive. And whew, it felt heavy right away. I was shocked because how in the world did I even, how did this happen because of my biological state? And I guess, and I was also overwhelmed because this is not the ideal situation for me to have a baby in. And I was scared. I was scared as heck, as hell, whatever you want to say, because of having this child on my own, or of losing another child, because I've had a miscarriage before and it's literally like the worst thing ever. One day I will talk about that story, but that's a story for another day. So yeah, I was feeling like a lot of things, and the day that I found out that I was pregnant, I called one of my closest friends, a sister, a mentor of mine, and I was already feeling the weight of so much shame. And words that she said to me, I don't remember how everything that happened in that conversation, but the simple phrase of anointing is anointing, you either want it or you don't, are words that I've replayed in my mind over the last few months, because I felt like I had grown so much in my gifts, I was the Jesus girl. I was the worship leader. I was the girl that was on mission, leading worship in other parts of the world and preaching in other parts of the world. And I was really excited for just how God was growing me and how he was flourishing me. And now I'm the girl who got pregnant out of wedlock. And it took some time. I sat in shame for a little while. I plastered a scarlet letter on my forehead because I couldn't believe like this is where I had ended up, because this is not what I stood for. I knew this is not, like, what I was engaging in was not what I was supposed to be doing. So it was really hard. I can't really find any other words to describe it other than that. But I did keep hearing the words, anointing is anointing. You either want it or you don't. And I think that that's what really pushed me to not let myself sit in shame, because if I were to, sit in shame and be stuck and paralyzed and allow that to shut me up, I believe that that was the agenda that the enemy wanted. But thank God, literally, that he doesn't have the final say. And I'm super fortunate, blessed to have people in my life that have encouraged me, supported me, and pushed me to heal and woman up, to be the person or the woman that is going to be raising this child alone. And this process didn't happen overnight, I will tell you that. But I don't want to talk too much about, the hard stuff or the pain that I went through, because that's not the result and that's not where I am now. I'm in a place where I've been able to see how God's love can heal my brokenness, how God's love can redeem a situation that from the outside looks sad, ugly, and not good. Being single and pregnant out of wedlock, and that's not the ideal situation to become a mother or have a child, yet God has been doing so much healing within me that really just makes me feel compelled to share this with you guys on YouTube. I'm literally ready to fail out loud, walk this thing out with my head held high as a redeemed daughter, because I know that's who I am and I know that's who God is. And so I know I'm not alone. I know there are other girls who are in this exact same situation. I know that there are people who are in situations that also are ugly and sad and feel far from the ability of God turning it around. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to tell you that there's nothing that you can do to change God's love for you. There's no situation that is too far gone for him to change for your good and for his glory. And so if you are in a place where things just feel hopeless, I just want to encourage you, because I'm living proof. I'm living proof that God has the ability to redeem you as a person, to redeem your situation, because I literally do not know. There's no other explanation of why I'm even emotionally stable or more than okay and just walking things out other than the grace of God. And I think something that has been really vital is learning to know the difference between sitting in shame and grieving a sin that was committed under God's grace. It's God's grace does not give us the license to sin. But who was I to, sit there in my shame and not believe that Jesus already died on the cross for this? And if you are in the same space that I was, I just want you to know, or if you already know, I want you to be reminded that whatever you've done, Jesus already covered it. So walk in knowing that God sees you as perfect because of what Jesus did on the cross. And another thing that I wanted to touch on is I want to just take a moment to talk to all my ladies out there who are struggling with maybe infertility or struggling with when is it going to be my turn to have a baby. And I know how that feels. And I just want you to be encouraged by like God's miraculous doing in my life, because it's literally up to God. Doctors told me that I wouldn't be able to have kids, and here I am growing a healthy little baby. So I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that. So there's probably so much I could talk about in regards to what I've learned in like the last few months of walking this thing out. But I think the bottom line is that I'm placing a demand on heaven to just awaken a new level of myself. And I'm surrendered to the process of God having me become just the woman that I need to be to raise this child. I'm believing that this kid's going to be a planet shaker, a world changer, and already has a testimony and isn't even here yet. So, yeah. I keep wanting to say what the gender is because I've known for a little while, but you'll have to wait until next week. So, I think we're going to end it there. I just wanted to share my news with you and just share my news with you, share with you how good God is, man. And maybe I'll talk more about this process. If you want, just leave me a comment. Let me know if you want to hear more, or if you want to reach out to me personally, to send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. And let's see, I think we're doing the gender reveal next week. So stay tuned for that. And if you guys want to hear more about like my pregnancy and just the logistics of how things have been going with my health or what I've been craving, etc., let me know, and I'll make a video that's more tailored to that. Yeah, so until next week, y'all know what I'm about to say. Keep going and keep glowing. And I'm going to be glowing for the next few months because, I got that mama glow. All right, bye guys. A happy Valentine's Day.